Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Women's Coffee Club. We created this club to provide a private space for women to share and inspire each other. And this morning, we're so grateful to have Jenny Harkleroad. Sorry. She is the managing director of the E-Women Network in San Diego, and so grateful to have you, Jenny. Uh, so if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your background and why you decided to choose this topic. And then after that, you can go ahead and start with your presentation. It's about 30 minutes, and then to allow time, probably about 15, 20 minutes for everyone to do their Q&A and any feedback. So thank you again, Jenny. Go ahead.
I love that. Thanks, Renee. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here with you this morning. Depending on your time zone, it might be real early or maybe not. So thanks for getting up and signing in. I know we all have a lot on our calendars, and I'm glad that you're here to connect with each other and also to listen and learn what I have to share with you today. So I think I'm just going to jump in, and you'll get the background as I go. In my story, I want to start off with Albert Einstein. He says that you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So if you think to your life, what's going on in your life? Is there anything that you would consider to be a problem? Something that's just, man, if I could fix this thing, maybe it's a health and wellness struggle, maybe it's a relationship struggle, maybe it's a money struggle. It's like, if I could solve this, I would really be happy about that. That would really be a great thing. And a lot of times the reason we can't solve a problem is because we are thinking in the same way that created the problem, or we can't quite think our way out of it because we're too close to it. And so what I'm going to teach you today is really how to create a new mind, a new way of thinking, and a new way of being, so that you can create the life that you want in all aspects. When this call is done, you'll have a solution so that for the rest of your life, anytime something comes up that's a challenge, you'll have a way to solve it in 5 minutes or less. Is that good? Okay,
Absolutely.
good. Also, if you have a goal that you want to achieve, you'll also know how to solve that goal with the same tool that I'm going to teach you today. So, as Rennie said, my name is Jenny Harkleroad, and I am the owner of Balanced You. I'm a now two-time #1 best-selling author and speaker and mind change coach and teacher. In my former life, I was a top producing realtor here in beautiful sunny San Diego. I had a team of buyer's agents and secretaries, and we were producing double digits in the millions, which meant I had the fun stuff, the houses and the cars and the travel and all the fun things money could buy. But my greatest claim to fame are my 4 sweet kids who are now grown-ups. I was telling Rennie, 3 married daughters, and our youngest is about to graduate high school in a couple weeks. So today, women entrepreneurs hire me to program their mind for success because so many are stuck in mind chatter, self-sabotage, and limiting beliefs. So I help them change how they're thinking so they change how they're feeling, which changes the printout of their life. So today I'm going to be teaching you about the 3 minds: conscious mind, subconscious mind, superconscious mind. And I'm going to be teaching you how they're like the 3 legs of a stool. And if any of them are out of balance, out of alignment, you keep falling out of your chair. You keep being stuck in the same problem. You keep not knowing how to solve what's going on in your life. So I'm going to teach you about those 3 minds, and I'm going to teach you tools to repattern your brain, because your brain creates your reality. Your thinking creates your reality. And I'm not just talking like positive mental attitude. I'm talking about literally your cellular response. I'm talking about the neural pathways in your brain. I'm a little bit of a science nerd, and here's the reason why. It was August 10th of 2013. I was standing on a mountain ledge with my husband, and he said, if I was young and in shape, I would jump off of here. I looked down, I looked at him, I decided to jump. When I landed, I felt a crunch in my back and I couldn't move. And he tried to get me up and he couldn't. Some of our friends were there. They tried to get me up and they couldn't. They ended up having to call 911, and 911 sent in a ground crew. And when the ground crew got to me, true story, there were literally vultures circling me because of the sounds I was making. They couldn't get me up. They called in a life flight. Life flight ziplined me up to a hovering helicopter. I don't remember a lot after that. They gave me a lot of morphine, which is thank goodness for morphine. But what I do remember is waking up in the hospital and they said, "You broke your back." Well, what? What do you mean? Like, for real, I broke my back? Okay, tell me more. What does that mean? Well, thankfully, I wasn't paralyzed, but I was definitely broken. And they said, you'll probably be laying here for about 6 weeks, and then you'll start to get your mobility back. And at the time, my kids were young, and I had that busy real estate business going on. I was also running the women's organization in my church with about 300 women. I was also very involved in my community with fundraising for causes I believed in, and being stuck in bed was not part of my plan. But you know how life happens sometimes. So I laid there thinking, I want to get better. Of course, I need to get better. But what I also thought is, you know what? I'm not really that happy with my life. And the funny thing was, if you looked at my life, you'd say, well, you married your high school sweetheart. You have these four beautiful little kids. You're financially doing fantastic. What's your problem, lady? Why are you not happy? And, you know, I had suffered with chronic pain for most of my life. It was just a thing with me. I got put on prescription pain pills when I was 12 years old. I went into liver failure in my 20s from all the pain pills I've been taking. And I always had something physically wrong with me. And so I just kind of learned to ignore it and suppress it the best I could with pain pills, with surgeries, with doctors. I would, you know, I was good at making money. So I'd go do that and try my best to ignore my pain. But when you're stuck in bed with a broken back, you can't fake that you're okay anymore. Although I answered my sales calls from bed, not telling anyone they were talking to a broken realtor in bed, doing transactions from my bed. It was crazy. So I was in pain not only from the back, but previously. My husband, I met him when I was 14. We got engaged when I was 17. I married him when I was 18. It was a lot of fun for a couple years. And then it wasn't so fun anymore. Once I got to know him a little bit better. I was like, who's this guy that I married? Why are you playing video games instead of hanging out with me? What's going on now? Right? And you know, I wanted to get along with him. I mean, we created this family, and we'd been to therapy and all these things, and just that wasn't going well. My real estate career, that was so financially successful. You know, I used to sit in my real estate meetings at Remax and I used to doodle on paper while they were telling us about real estate laws. What it'd be like to like do something I loved and like something I was passionate about or something I was excited about. I just kind of fallen into real estate and it just went crazy and I just kind of got swept up in the whole thing. And it wasn't really my passion. I didn't feel like I was on the right path for my life, but I just kept doing it anyway because it was so successful. And so I'm laying there thinking about all these different things about my life and that I wanted to change them, but I didn't really know how because in the past when I wanted to change something, I would try harder. I would say positive affirmations. I would read books to date myself, listen to tapes. You know, I would try to do the things to change, but it seemed like a lot of times I just reverted back to the same old me. I struggled with my weight. I struggled with my temper. I mean, I just had these things that I wanted to make better in my life, and nothing really changed unless I was so focused on it. And then as soon as I would lose my focus, it would just go back to the same old way. And so, laying there thinking of all these things, first, I needed to heal my back. And so, thankfully, the 6 weeks passed and I started moving a little bit. But as I started to move, gain my mobility, the pain started getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And a year after I broke my back is when I started taking pain pills for my back. I was seeing chiropractor, acupuncture, physical therapy, massage, like every day I was going to somebody doing all the things I was supposed to be doing. I would pay people to drive me to real estate appointments, laying on an ice pack in the back of my car. I'd get up, I'd go in, do my song and dance. I wouldn't sit down. I'd tell them I don't like sitting. Let's just keep walking because I literally couldn't sit. It hurt so bad. And then I'd cry the whole way home because of the pain. 2 years after I broke my back, I convinced surgeons to do major surgery. I said, there has to be something wrong with my back. I mean, this is crazy. So they put in rods and screws and a synthetic disc, sent me home on a walker. 7 months later, I can't sit, I can't drive. My back feels like it's on fire. And they say, there's nothing more we can do for you. Well, what am I supposed to do now? And they say, well, just keep taking the pain pills and we're sorry. Like, you've tried everything, we've tried everything. And thankfully, I wouldn't accept that answer. I mean, I couldn't accept that answer. Ladies, it's like if you were in labor and they're like, just so you know, you're going to be in labor the rest of your life. You'd be like, no. This is not humanly possible. That's how my back was. Like, no, I cannot live like this. And so I started looking for solutions that I hadn't already tried. I thought I had tried everything, but apparently I hadn't, because I got referred to a medical doctor right here where I live in Escondido named Dr. Warren Jacobs. And he told me, you know, Jenny, you can heal yourself with your mind. My mind? I can heal my back with my mind? Yes, you can. Okay. What kind of doctor are you again? Okay, let's try your woo-woo voodoo, whatever you do. I mean, I'm desperate. Let's do it. 6 sessions later, I'm completely healed. I mean, completely healed. I can do handstands and back bends. I'm blown away. And I go back to him and I'm like, I cannot believe this worked. Thank you. I owe you my life. And can you help me stop taking pain pills? Can you help me like my husband? Can you help me get rid of my bad temper? Can you help me lose weight? Can you help me find a career that I love? And I just started telling him all my things. And he's like, absolutely, Jenny. You can do anything with the power of your mind. And we did. All those things transformed. I'm still married to the same guy, 29 years now. And for the past, since I saw this doctor in 2015, it's been fantastic. Why? Because I changed my mind. I changed my perception. I changed how I saw myself, and I changed how I saw him automatically. I didn't try to see him different. I didn't try to behave different or think different or act different. I just was different because we changed my subconscious mind so that it was in alignment with what I consciously wanted. So today, I'm going to teach you how to do the same thing so you can change anything about your life. Ready? Okay, good. All right. So the first thing you need to know is called the 17-second rule. And it goes like this. A thought is an electrical signal in the brain for 17 seconds or less. But if it goes on for more than 17 seconds, it becomes a chemical reaction within your body. So you are thinking equal to or you're feeling equal to the way you're thinking. So then after you're thinking a certain way and feeling a certain way, it attracts like thoughts to your mind so that you have a story to back up why what you're feeling and thinking is true. It's called a feedback loop. And then if this goes on just for 68 seconds from the first thought, it changes your energy field. Your energy field is responsible for what you attract and what you manifest in your life. It's responsible for if that client says, yes, let's do it. Sign me up. I'll buy it. Or if they say, I want to think about it. I need to talk to my husband. I'm not so sure. Your energy field projects and attracts or detracts what you want in your life. And so the moral of that story is you only have 17 seconds or less to change a thought. Here's the problem. Psychologists say you have 50,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day, 80% negative, 90% a repeat of yesterday. That's a lot of stinking thinking. So, excuse me, can you imagine trying to catch 50 to 80,000 thoughts? I mean, it would take your whole day. That's all you would do. So what I discovered is a way to shortcut that process. And it's the secrets of the mind, the 3 secrets. So the first one is that you have 3 minds: conscious, subconscious, superconscious. Your conscious mind is your decision-making mind. You decided to come here this morning, right? Why are you here this morning? You wanted to learn something. You wanted to connect with this group. You decided to get up and jump on this call. Conscious decision. Your subconscious mind is your automated mind. It grows my curly hair, right? It just does it. I don't have to think about it. It just happens. It beats my heart. It digests my food, right? It blinks my eyes. So subconscious, automatic. Here's what I didn't know about the subconscious before I started working with Dr. Warren is that the subconscious also controls how we feel and think and act and react. So when someone cuts you off in traffic, what do? Do you slow down and say, oh, here, scooch in? Or do you speed up and, right? Or are you somewhere in between? When somebody says something you don't like, how do you respond? Do you get quiet? Do you get loud? Do you walk away? Do you get in their face? You know, like what are just the, like your automatics? So those automatics were programmed in you when you were young. Your subconscious was programmed when you were about 0 to 8 years old. And everything you experienced in your life, what you saw and heard and felt, it became your program, whether you liked it or not. Sometimes when I meet someone and they find out who my parents are, they're like, oh my gosh, I should have figured it out. Your mannerisms are just like your dad. Your smile is just like your mom. And I'm like, really? Like, I don't see it, but they can see it. Why? It was programmed into me. And so we have these programs, and sometimes they're great, and sometimes they're not so great. A lot of people believed or were told that they weren't good enough or they weren't worthy, especially women in business trying to make money. They were told that money's the root of all evil, or people with money are greedy, or just these different things that sabotage what you're trying to create in your life. And so that subconscious mind, it's in control 95% of the time. I'll give you an example. At my house, they're doing major road construction. The road's been closed for almost 2 years now. So the way I want to go has been closed. So I have to go the opposite way and like go around the mountain to get anywhere. So when they first closed the road, I knew they closed the road, but my subconscious mind would turn left. And then I would get 100 yards and go, oh, shoot, I forgot the road's closed. And I'd turn around and go back the other way. And then the next morning I'd be driving and I'd turn left and I'd drive 100 yards and go, oh, the road's closed, turn around, go the other way. Okay, until my subconscious got reprogrammed not to turn left. So now I always turn right. And guess what's about to happen? They're about to open the road. And guess what's going to happen? We're all going to be turning right when we can now turn left because we're reprogrammed to turn right. If I'm thinking, turn right when you get to the bottom of the road, turn right when you get to the bottom of the road, turn right when you get to the bottom of the road, I'll turn right. But I'm thinking, I need to send that email. I need to da-da-da-da-da, right? Our mind just goes and we're not paying attention and we just do our automatic and we go left. And it's like that in so many areas of your life you don't even realize. And driving's a great example. I mean, blinking your eyes. Don't blink. You can overpower your subconscious mind. But for how long? I can only do it until I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say next. And then it just goes back to my subconscious program and pattern. Your subconscious is a million times more powerful than your conscious mind. So most of the time when we want to change something in our life, we're trying to consciously change it. But we have this mind that's a million times more powerful, and we just don't know how to tap into it. Sunday was Mother's Day, right? My son tells me, Mom, for Mother's Day, I'm going to teach you something about your car for your Mother's Day present. I'm like, okay, that's unique. And he says, I know something that bothers you about your car is when you walk up to it, it unlocks automatically. But when you walk away from it, it doesn't lock automatically. And you either have to open the trunk and hit the lock button, which I see you do way too often, or you have to dig through your purse and find the key and lock it, use the little remote. And he says, Mom, if you put your thumb right here on the door when you leave, it locks. I was like, oh, you're awesome. That's a good Mother's Day present. And for 3 years, I've been either using the trunk or digging for the key to lock my car. It was always there. I just didn't know it. So what I'm going to show you today, it's always been there. You just don't know how to tap into it. You were doing it the hard way. So today I'm going to teach you the easy way. And my name's Harkleroad. So sometimes we say you can take the hard road or you can take the Harkle road. So today we're going to teach you the Harkleroad. That's the easier road. All right. So how do you take the easier way? Well, the other thing real quick I want to touch on is that third mind, the super conscious mind. So remember, conscious, subconscious, super conscious. Your super conscious is like your soul, your spirit, your alignment to God or a higher power. It's like we're here for a reason. We're here to do a work. We didn't just show up for nothing. And so when I was in real estate, it was like I wasn't doing the right thing and I felt out of alignment. I was like daydreaming about doing something I was excited about or passionate about. I just didn't know what that thing was. And so that was like my super conscious, like, hey, you're off track, right? Like you're not in alignment. When your conscious mind and super conscious mind and subconscious mind are all in alignment, life feels good and smooth and easy. So your super conscious mind, if you could be quiet, ask questions, tune in, meditate, pray, listen, it's the quiet mind, and it won't scream at you like your conscious mind's like, I want lunch, right? Your super conscious mind won't say, you're off track in your purpose in life, get on track. No, it'll just be like, gosh, I'm not that happy. I just don't feel that excited about life. It'll be more subtle. And so getting in touch with all these minds and getting them in a balanced state will create the best life for you. So now the $1,000,000 question, I want you to write this one down. It is, how would I rather feel? So I want you to, when you're listening to yourself, tell the stories you tell yourself. And I want you to catch that word I just said, stories you tell yourself, because everything you tell yourself is just a story based on your perception. You're the narrator of your own life, and you're narrating a story based on your perception. And if you don't like your story, you're going to ask yourself that $1,000,000 question. How would I rather feel? How would I rather think? How would I rather act? How would I rather respond? What would I rather create? So the catalyst to my work is your conscious mind catching the story and saying, I don't like this story. I don't want to be tired today. I don't want to be sick today. I don't want to be broke today. I don't want to be in a fight with somebody today. I don't want to have an argument. I don't want to, what is it? And then you're going to take that thing and you're going to write it in a positive goal statement. It's going to sound like a positive affirmation, except we're not going to repeat it. We're going to program it into the subconscious mind. So, for example, the goal statement could be something like, it's so easy for me to fill in the blank, sleep great every night, and wake up refreshed in the morning. So easy for me to lose weight and keep it off. It's so easy for me to have a fun and exciting relationship with my spouse, partner, whoever, right? It's so easy for me to make sales calls and close contracts. I mean, whatever the thing is, that's one way you could say it. It's so easy. Or you could just say, I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. So you're saying it like it already exists in the positive. And now I'm going to teach you how to program that into the subconscious mind. So you're not just saying it, you're changing the program, you're changing the automatic. So give me a thumbs up if you wrote a statement down. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, if you didn't do it, real quick, write something down. And then you're going to put your hands on your shoulders like this, like you're giving yourself a hug. And you're going to close your eyes. And you're going to start saying that statement silently for about a minute. Or if you're a slow breather, about 5 slow breaths. And you can actually do it right now, just saying the statement over and over. When you cross your arms like this, it opens your brain bridge. It's called the corpus callosum. It separates both hemispheres of the brain. And when you cross your arms, it opens that brick wall, puts it back into a neural superhighway so you can build a new belief. When you close your eyes, it slows your mind down into a more programmable state. Same with taking nice slow breaths. And just breathe and repeating your statement. When you're ready, you're going to uncross your arms and recross them so the other arm is on top. Close your eyes and say your goal again for another 5 breaths or minute. When you're ready, you're going to uncross your arms and start tapping your fingertips together like this. Close your eyes, repeating your goal silently for another 5 slow breaths. When you're ready, hold your fingertips together. Take 5 more slow breaths, repeating your goal silently. can let go of your fingers and open your eyes. Nice work. If you have some water nearby, have a drink of water. This process causes heat in the brain, and heat causes dehydration. So no dehydrating on a Rennie and my watch. All right. So you literally just reprogrammed the brain. You built a new neural pathway between both hemispheres of the brain. You had put your brain in a state of super learning when you did that. And your brain now reads signals, reads the outside world different. Your cellular response is now going to be different. So what can you do to help enforce this new change? What you can do is take action. Your subconscious is now in alignment with your conscious mind. So what can you do to help you bring this goal to fruition or help you solve the problem? What can you do? So it's not repeating the goal, it's an action. So if the goal is health, maybe the action is purchase healthier food or exercise daily. If the goal is relationship, maybe the goal is to be a better listener. If the goal is finance, maybe the goal is to go out and meet more people, do more networking, make more sales calls, make more offers. What can you do? You'll notice that when you start the doing, it'll be easier because your subconscious is now programmed for success in this area. Also, one of the really fun benefits is what we just did. Think of it like a bowling alley. The first pin of the triangle was the goal you were working on. When you take out that first pin, it takes out some of the others. So you're going to start to notice over the next couple days, wow, the thing I worked on that call of Rennie's with Jenny, like, I think it's working. Yeah, it is. And you're going to say, and there's also some other things that feel easier or better that I didn't even work on. That's weird. It's that bowling alley effect. Okay. So remember, you have 50 to 80,000 thoughts per day. So your new homework, your new goal is to just listen to your own story. What are you telling yourself? What do you want to change about what you're telling yourself? Write that thing in a positive goal statement. Do the brain exercise with the goal statement, crossing, tapping, holding, and then take action. I recommend you do it at least once per day on some part of your story that you don't like the sound of it. And you want to turn it around. You want to change it. Getting your mind in shape is like getting your body in shape. It takes work. It takes effort. But now you know the secret. My private clients report a 57% improvement per goal per brain exercise. One brain exercise, 57% improvement on our last over 500 private clients. That's how powerful your subconscious mind is. So my challenge is to take what I learned or what I taught today, what I've learned and what I've shared with you, and use it every day for the rest of your life. Just like every day you want to exercise, you want to eat healthy, you want to enjoy life, right? You want to keep your mind in the positive. You want to program the subconscious mind to support you. Why? Because Albert Einstein says you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. You've got to create a new mind. So the last thing I'll leave you with is a link in the chat. I've created 18 different brain exercises. I just taught you one of them today. And on the link is another one. So the more brain exercises you know, the better. Like if you only knew push-ups, it's great. But what if you also knew sit-ups? Awesome, right? So I'm going to put the sit-ups in the chat for you. So let's see here. Whoops, I got to spell it correctly. Okay, it's my website /my name. So balanced.org/Jenny. When you go there, it's going to give you a download of my second brain exercise. This one's a little more involved. It takes, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes to do instead of 5 minutes to do. But this brain exercise is really powerful because the subconscious speaks in sensory language, feeling, sounds, sights. And when we speak consciously, we don't speak in sensory language. So this process really helps describe to the subconscious mind what you're trying to create in your life. So use the one I taught you today, use the one in the link, and you can change anything you want about your life with the power of your mind. Thanks for listening today. I'm Jenny, owner of Balanced You.
Wow, that's amazing, Jenny. Thank you so much. Wow, that is so powerful. Let's open it up for Q&A. We're going to start with Victoria. Go ahead, Victoria.
Well, Jenny, this short 30 minutes to explain all this was an amazing performance. I'm definitely very familiar with everything that you said. I used to be a consultant with Bob Proctor with the PGI
Nice.
Institute. So I've practiced all that. The thing is, what you added is the movement. And that is so crucial. I learned along the way that affirmation, when we have a sudden movement and an action with our body to let it sink in, it's even more powerful and it's almost somehow immediate. And I had in my life some immediate manifestation of what I was picturing in here and in here. So yes, lady, what Jenny offered us today is real. Absolutely real. There is no woo-woo, there is no voodoo. This is what we need to do. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. I love that.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah.
But when you're doing that, you have to believe it, don't you? Because
No,
sometimes your
you
mind
don't.
kind of fight you.
Yeah, your conscious mind will fight you on it. You don't have to consciously believe it. You're trying to convince your subconscious mind to believe it through the process. And you'll notice that as you're doing it, you'll start to believe it. Where at the beginning it might seem impossible. You know, maybe you're working on a really big goal and your mind is just like, there is no possible way. But you're programming the subconscious to believe it, which causes the conscious mind to believe it. Right? So it's not so much try to believe it, it's program your subconscious so it does believe it, and then it'll start to become your reality. Because Henry Ford says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So you do have to believe it, but you have to believe it at a cellular level, not just consciously thinking you can or believing you can. It has to be deeper than that. So that's why we're taking it deeper.
Amazing. Next is Binta. Binta, yay, it's so good to see you.
It's so good to be here. I'm so grateful to be able to attend this session because it's so powerful, reminding us, Jenny, about the power of our minds. And for me, I am from Africa. I was born and raised in Africa, and you know the cultural conditioning that I grew up with. You know, I was just I did not know the power of my mind until I came to this country, until I came to this city, and then I ended up meeting people who taught me about the power of my mind. Like I go to yoga and yoga teacher training, and then I met Victoria, and who introduced me to Bar Practice teachings also. So from there, I was able to learn and shift my way of thinking. And I'm still learning. I'm still mastering my thoughts, and because of that, I have manifested such beautiful things in my life. And I'm so grateful to be able to add these powerful teachings into my life. So I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, and thanks for taking this tool and using it. Yeah.
Thank you, Binta. Lori, you're next.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I absolutely love this. I have a version of it, and what I love is that when people talk about the voodoo stuff, but this is really based in science. Like, you can prove this through physiology, and, you know, athletes use brain training all the time. It's just that it's always seems to be, you know, a select demographic that attains these, you know, victories or whatever, when really it is available to all of us. We just don't do the practice. And I love your presentation. I love everything about the way you delivered this, and it's inspiring me to practice what I preach as well. And the 17 seconds or less, I mean, who doesn't have 17 seconds? That time factor is so important to know, because in our human experience, for some reason, we need to know when something's going to start and something's going to end. You know, it's one of our human habits that works against us. It's why we procrastinate, because we think things are going to go on forever, or they're going to take too much work. But this, and it becomes enjoyable the way that you know, you tune into, there's a reward here. Like get up in the morning and look forward to doing this, because you get to figure out your day right off the bat. So thank you so much. Jane invited me to this morning. I've never attended, so this has been delightful and very inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. So
Thanks
good
for
to have
inviting
you
her,
here.
Jane.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Yeah. Jane, you're next.
Don't you just love each and every one of us? Can you hear me okay?
You're a little
You
bit
need to
quiet.
speak. Yeah, you need to speak a little bit louder.
All right.
There we
just-
go.
Can you hear me better? I had my
Yes.
ear things in. I said, don't you just love each and every one of us? You know, how lucky are we that we get to partake in this wonderful sisterhood that we're doing right now? It's like, oh my gosh, I feel like, you know, I've got a secret. I have a marvelous secret, and it's called Thursday. Well, for me, I'm on the East Coast, New York, Thursday morning at 10 a.m. And Jenny, you're just marvelous. I'm curious, the doctor that you went to that said, I'm going to put you on the right track, was
Yeah.
that an MD?
MD, yeah, MD. So he's in his 90s now. So this was long ago that he learned this work. He said he would go to medical conferences, and they had this kind of on the outskirts natural healing stuff on the side, and he'd walk past it and go, that stuff's ridiculous, you know. And then one day he went and all the classes were full. He couldn't get in, and he had to go to the woo-woo voodoo class. He started learning this stuff, and he thought it was weird, except that he was late and they called him up on stage and they did something with him, and he could tell it actually worked. So he goes back to his office. He's got a patient with a frozen shoulder. He's done all the things the medical doctor can do for it, and it's still not helping. And so he says, do you mind if we just try something weird? So he does one of these processes, and then he tells lady, try to move your arm. And she has like full range of motion, and his jaw just drops. He can't believe it. And so he just starts to do this type of stuff more and more, so that eventually that's pretty much all he did with his patients. I mean, he could still write a prescription or whatever, be a regular doctor, but he's like, your mind controls your body, and your body's meant to heal. And so if it's not healing, or if there's something chronic, there's something else going on that we need to get to the root of, and it's in your mind. So let's fix your mind to heal your body.
Yeah, it's like physician, heal thyself.
Yeah.
Right, that phrase. I just have to tell you, I find this interesting. You and I had a sister career of sorts. I was a mortgage advisor
Okay.
for 25 years, and you a realtor for many years as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do that business linear, right down the middle, you know, pathway. And but then we find ourselves in these places that is real, because we're spirits having a human experience. So amen. And I'm so glad you were here. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Awesome.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Tamara, you're next.
I have a plane going right over me. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm like, that was great timing, right? So I loved your presentation. I love, like, I think it was Lori was mentioning the movement part of it. I haven't had those specific movements before. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, I could feel the piece of it. So, yeah, so I'll be doing that more often. So thank you.
I
Great,
love
great
that.
presentation. And
Yeah.
I love the doctor story.
Yeah.
That is pretty amazing because, you know, MDs have this some scientific mind, and that's all, you know, that's what they do.
Right.
And I've had experience with miraculous healing, not just in myself, but with some of my clients. And so now I'm going to use this modality with them. So thank
I
you.
love it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tamara. I like your glasses.
Thank
You're
you.
outdoor. Teresa, you're next. Hi, Teresa. So glad to see you here.
Good morning, everyone. Jenny, I am super happy to hear you again. We heard you at the NC Win, and I just completely 100% loved your teaching, and your story is amazing. I'm just happy to be here. My boys, I have two sons, and they introduced me to the Bob Proctor teachings about maybe 6 years ago. And I love this. I love this. It just makes me grow, and it makes me so excited to know these things, you know, and the whole movement part of it. I love it, and I truly believe that that's definitely going to make a huge change. You know, it's just helps us with so much especially when we're going through something full of trauma. And that definitely is something that we all need. And I definitely love this sisterhood. I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much. I really appreciate your teachings and that you're in our life now.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Teresa.
you.
Thanks for listening to me twice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you, Teresa. Kathleen, you're next.
That was amazing. I am so excited always to learn something new. I can't believe that I didn't know about this. I have been studying so many things: yoga, meditation, breath work, um, listen to all sorts of experts, and I've never heard of this. And I'm just really excited. I absolutely loved your presentation, and I'm really excited to learn more. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
this.
That's so sweet. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. I hope your move is doing well.
Getting there. House is under contract, so
Good job. Yay.
Good, good. Omeka, you're next.
Yeah, hey, come on, little doggy. Oh yeah, that was perfect. And thanks for the reminder, Rennie. I don't know if we were thinking about it at the same time. Like, where was I? Yeah, that was perfect timing. I love it. Yes, yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes. And yeah, I do those movements I won't say totally intuitively because we're all connected and I've seen other people do, you know, similar, but to actually I won't say isolate, but isolate it. But yeah, take a moment. Take a conscious moment. There we go. You said to answer in the chat anytime, always, you know, without ceasing. Yeah. So yeah, love that. Absolutely. And yeah, for me that's about um continuing to live in a higher frequency and yeah, just more expansive and more yes, inclusive and just all knowing and yes, I'm just so happy.
Thank
It
you.
it
Thanks for
allowed
being
me
here.
to be okay with my dreams, like kind of instantly, you know, as I was doing it more and more and more, like more than other people saying more than other things they've seen before, and we've all been in this same consciousness. But yeah, it was an amplification. So I thank you. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank
And I
you.
thank myself for receiving it.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you,
coming right
Omeka.
up again on time. Like if by the time like come back to the what you said as soon as I tuned in, it was perfect. So thank you.
Thank you, Omeka. You're always awesome. Yeah, I think another thing is, Jenny, it's the action part, isn't it? Though you're not just doing that exercise, but really, but do something about it after that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. What can you do to help bring this goal into fruition? Yeah, take action. So it's like get the mind right and then go create the reality.
Yeah. Joey said she's with the kids and she can't, she homeschooled 5 kids, if you can
Oh
believe
my
it.
goodness.
She's in
Blessings
the
to you.
she's in the Philippines and she's having dinner with the family.
Oh,
So she said she can't speak right now, but she enjoys this your presentation.
sweet.
So,
Sweet.
but
Renee,
I think,
can I mention my new book real quick? Is that all right?
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. I have a new itty bitty book.
I got one of those, Jenny. I
Yeah, it
haven't
came
read
out
it yet,
last
but
week. It's on Amazon. I can put the link in the chat, but it reviews this brain exercise and some other things you want to know about your mind. So let me put that in the chat for you. You can grab it if you want.
yeah, yeah. This is your 3rd book, Jenny?
Third book, yep.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is such an awesome topic anyway, we have so many limitation in our lives that with this chatter of 70,000, 80,000
Right.
words.
50,000 crazy thoughts going through our head every day.
Oh, we always telling, our mind just busy. It's just this voices in our head just
Yeah.
kept saying things that are negative, and I think that's the problem. Is just we listen to this voice and we end up, I think we're our worst enemy. We sabotage ourselves constantly. Who wants to share about sabotage? We have a few more minutes left.
Yeah, we believe our own story, right? We think because we think it's true.
Have
But
you, Tamara, go ahead. Tamara has a sabotage story.
Well, I was actually, I guess one of triumph, I guess, the other
good.
day.
Even better.
Yeah. The other day I was, we have that stinking thinking. I wake up and I'm feeling like really sad and that, and I'm like, not even realizing what thoughts are going on. I'm just going about my day. Like you said, you're just thinking about all the things that you have to do. And then, I realized that my body is like sad. And then I started to get upset and I'm like, what is going on here? Why am I upset? And then, my husband came down and I'm like, I don't know what's going on because like I'm as happy as I've ever been. Like my whole life is just so happy. So why am I feeling like this? So I had to do some deep thoughts stuff. And I still don't know what it was, but I was able to change those thoughts and like put on some positive music and start saying some positive affirmations and just get myself out of it. And I know eventually, spirit will bring it up to where I do need to address it, but you can't address it at the level of mind that it is created. So I knew I had to get but I've been doing this work for a long time. So I knew I had to get my vibration up and I did. And I've been great ever since. But I did learn that my mom lives with us and she's watching this dog who was she was a service dog for a little boy who had autism who died in a fire not long ago. And anyway, the parents of the boy decided to go to Indonesia. And the next morning was the morning where I was feeling when we got her, I was feeling the sadness. I realized it was the dog. So that I was feeling what the dog was feeling, but I couldn't know that if I was stuck in that vibration. So I was able to get out of it. And then the dog's been great ever since. I've been great ever since. So
good job turning it around.
yeah. So a story of triumph, I guess.
Yeah.
A weird one, a woo-woo one.
It's perfect.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, what a great story. It's 8 o'clock right now. Thank you again, Jenny. We ran out of time. I think everyone have had a chance to say something here. Just really appreciate you coming here and sharing this wonderful topic to all of us. Next week, Victoria will be sharing love and money, the two strongest driving forces in human life. So come back again. Jenny, I'm gonna let you have the last word before we depart here.
Thank you. So the last word is that you can do anything with the power of your mind. You can solve any problem, you can achieve any goal, you can change any feeling, you can really create the life you want, you can create new skill sets, new leadership, new confidence. You can do it all with the power of your mind. And if you tap into your subconscious mind with the programs I showed you today, it's 1,000,000 times, literally scientifically 1,000,000 times more powerful than if you just try to be that way. So use the tools I taught you, and the sky is the limit. The only thing that stands between you and your goal is your thinking. So change the thinking and you can create the life of your dreams.
Thank you again, Jenny. That is so wonderful. We really enjoyed the presentation, and thank you to all of you for your participation and contribution. Have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And see you guys next week. Bye-bye all.